Welcome back to Sorta Sophisticated, dear listeners, the podcast where Amanda,
Me.
hi Amanda.
Hello.
Hi. And I somehow managed to turn, would you say, our completely random thoughts into some sort of cohesive, semi-educational conversation?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Sounds about right.
Sorta. Yeah.
Sorta.
Full disclosure for anybody just joining in, we're not professors. We're not even trying to be. We just basically do a bunch of research. Well, I do.
No, Peter does a bunch of research.
I do all the research.
And I'm the student in this scenario, and I learn.
Yes. Or the deer in headlights.
Or
one or the other. Right. Whatever. Yeah. And then we try to just sort of stay on track and not screw everything up so bad.
We do.
I think that sums it up.
But we're not going to stay on track for a hot second.
Here we go.
Okay, ready?
Perfect.
Here.
Playing right into Sorta
I have
Sophisticated.
something for you.
What am I looking at? I am looking at a Krampus Christmas
You
card.
are.
Say that
You
three
are.
times fast. Krampus Christmas card. Oh my God, this is excellent. Where'd you get this?
A client sent it to us.
It's Krampus season. Saint Nick has been banished, and now Krampus rules. This is hysterical.
Yeah, it's great. And the only reason why I knew who that was because of how you educated me on Krampus.
On Krampus.
So there you go. Thank
people,
you.
you got to go
Thank
back and
you.
listen to our Krampus episode.
Krampus.
It's very seasonal. It's very.
It is.
It's very apropos.
It is.
Right?
And then
What?
another fun fact or fun.
I got a
info.
fun
I don't
fact
know.
about
not
Krampus.
Even, not even a fun fact. Okay, go ahead. What's your fun fact about Krampus?
It was our least listened to episode
Oh, that's sad.
so far.
I mean, it's because he's
Bolster
scary.
it up, people.
He's
Bolster
scary.
it up.
But
What?
not really fun fact. I actually went with the girls to this Christmas thing, and they remember what during the Krampus episode, pretty sure it was then, we talked about how other countries celebrate Christmas.
Oh yeah,
and
totally.
What it looks like,
yeah.
right?
That was fun.
So,
I like that episode.
So for whatever reason, I obviously at some point told my children about this.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Mommy, isn't that blah 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 Japan?" And I can't remember exactly what she said. Right. The 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where'd you learn that?" And she goes, "From you. Uncle Pete told you." So,
Look at that.
Twofer right there.
It's working.
That one episode that had not enough
it's
listens.
working its way into the fabric. The fabric.
It is.
Oh my God. Okay.
So,
That's good.
Good job.
That's
good job. Anyways, so what are we talking about today? What else are you going to educate me so that way I can bring up months later on how I'm cool and relevant?
Today is going to be excellent. We are diving into one of the most unbelievable times in American history. Are you ready for this?
It was the 80s.
This is even bigger.
Oh, okay.
This is the 20s.
Oh.
Prohibition. We're talking about Prohibition.
I love it.
We
did talk about that. We talked about it last week a little.
Okay, but then now we're going.
Okay,
maybe that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out why I was so interested in Prohibition this week.
Oh, I love it.
That's probably it. Yes.
Do you want to know why I love it?
No. Why do you love it?
Okay, so when I was in Portland, there's this whole row, and so underneath is basements.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them have kind of closed off the walls or whatever.
Stuff.
Yes. One of the original Speakeasies is down below.
Look at that.
But also they had tunnels where they did smuggle people, mind you. So that's also not okay. But it was
creepy.
also how you would get to different speakeasies or how they would smuggle alcohol
I want to
all
do
the
that.
way up and down
This is
the
what I want to
street.
do with our venue. Can we
great.
do something like this with our venue?
Yeah.
It would be fun.
Oh, have a speakeasy?
I mean,
let's go.
I don't know. Okay, so everybody who doesn't know, Prohibition basically is when the government banned alcohol. That was what happened. It was an amendment, people. It was during the 1920s, basically. I mean, a little bit started in 1919, 1933. We'll figure this whole thing out, but that's what we're talking about. It's sort of a big deal.
People drank a lot.
They drank a lot,
They made
and
their own booze.
you needed passwords to drink.
It's true.
Because you couldn't get in to any of these places without because you didn't want to get in trouble for anything,
Correct.
right? I know, totally.
If you haven't watched Peaky Blinders, come on.
Oh, God.
So good.
I loved Peaky. I'm so proud of you. We finally found
I
something.
did.
Okay, all right. Also,
Told you I love Prohibition.
what's his name? Cillian Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
I must be an alky.
Easy,
okay.
Easy on the eyes.
So what's the official title?
Official title. History's Greatest Hangover. When America tried to stop drinking. Spoiler alert, people.
Good one.
It didn't work.
Didn't work. So
not
how
at
is this going to make us more cultured and curious? Besides being alkies?
Right. Because drinking makes us culture. Because drinking makes it easier to talk to people.
It's true.
And that makes us more curious. Probably.
There you go.
Maybe that's all. But
Maybe
really,
that's
okay. I'm going to say learning about Prohibition is like learning America's personality. It's like the secret to America's personality.
Because we're all drunks?
That's
what?
No. Because America is like we're like rebels. We're rebel culture, right?
I'm sorry. I have to get rid of this Krampus card. It's like...
Get rid of it. That's fine. think of like Hamilton. Remember back to Hamilton and all our founding fathers? I mean, we were defiant, right? We were resilient. This is the whole thing. So when we're told we can't do something, what are we going to do?
That's true.
We're going to do it anyway.
Okay, fair.
Right? So this is why I would say this is the American spirit. We'll call it the American spirit. That is why Prohibition is going to... Yes! Right. You like the way
Okay, so then what's our word of the day?
Okay,
Is this something about rebellious?
I think you should give me more
You're gonna
credit
make
for
it
just
easy?
tying shit together
You did.
out of nowhere, completely out of my asshole. Okay, here we go.
You did do that.
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
Word of the day. I'll tell you what it's
Oh,
not
your
going to be.
cookies.
It's not going to be douche.
Oh,
Like
well.
how you screwed me last week with gauche and douche, which don't even rhyme. Okay, our word of the day today is frowsy. 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 Frowsy.
Is this like browsy?
Browsy?
Drowsy. Like drowsy?
Like drowsy.
Drowsy. So like I make it a little tired, or browsy where I do the weird things with my eyebrows, or
Oh,
frowsy. I frown too
I
much.
like browsy.
Are you frowsies?
From now on, whenever we see old grandpas, we should say like, oh my God, he's really browsy. Okay, no. Frowsy is actually a really old English word that means messy, unkempt, or just like what would Ruth call it today? Musty. I feel musty, Dad. Like clothes are wrinkly, not ironed, like your hair isn't combed. You
Yeah, so browsy.
You got out of bed.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
don't
like
know.
browsy.
Okay, I don't know
Like
what
think of
browsy
like
is.
big old bushy eyebrows
Okay,
that are
fine.
browsy, and
All
they're
right.
kind of like unkept
Or frowsy.
and messy.
Yeah. Showed up in the 17th century. It was used to describe people who looked rumpled or places that felt stale or stuffy.
Huh.
So it sounds fancy, but it's not fancy at all.
Okay.
It's the opposite. Frowsy.
Frowsy.
Okay.
So you're very frowsy.
What are you talking about? I look like well put
I
together
know.
today.
You have a personal shopper right now.
Okay, right.
You can't be frowsy, I guess.
I'm not frowsy today, baby. No.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So then what's the history? Let's go. Let's roll into it.
It's all history. This is all we're going to talk about. We're not going to get up to today.
Fair.
We're literally, this is what we're talking about.
Fair.
All right, fine.
What do I got to know
We're gonna
besides the fact that alcohol was banished?
It was terrible. I can't imagine living during that time. Kill me now.
You would have loved the 20s.
I know, I probably would have.
You would
Okay,
have been like the kingpin.
Al Capone.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I know,
Maybe.
right? That's terrible. Okay, we got to do a vibe check on America in the late 1800s. That's how we got to start, okay? Because like we're 10 or 20 years removed from the Civil War. That was 1863, 1865, somewhere around there, whatever. Yeah, okay. And everybody was drinking. Like everybody was drinking in the late 1800s. Men, women, kids, preachers, like everybody. I'm not making it up.
Normalized.
I looked, totally. I looked it up because I was surprised at the kid thing, but totally normal.
I mean, they had to have
Yeah.
been because my grandpa was always like, when the baby's teeth start cutting in, just
Yeah,
give her a
just
little
give her a
shot
little-
of whiskey.
give her
I'm
a
like,
little
I'm
whiskey.
not giving her a little
Right.
shot of whiskey.
Yeah, what is that all about?
But
Why
anyways,
did-
so
right.
yes, clearly.
So I thought it was going to be, because the Civil War ended, people were all stressed out, yada, yada, 30 years later, it was a culture of drinking. It wasn't. It actually had to do with the fact that back then, booze, we're going to call it booze,
Okay.
okay? Booze was cheaper than water and way safer to drink than water, believe it or not, like contamination-wise.
They had
But-
ultra filtrated for
right.
their booze.
I guess, like that went through the process and the water didn't, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Besides the fact that it probably made you feel a lot better to drink booze than water, but
Okay.
I mean, that's
I mean,
also,
how would you know?
What?
If it was the water or the booze? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Anyways.
I didn't live back then. What do I know? Okay.
So like our baseline here is that everybody was walking around drunk.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
they had like bars on every corner. Like it was like Starbucks today,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
They were everywhere. Totally. Yeah. So then basically some women, especially like wives at the time, get this giant bug up their butt and text each other to meet on Main Street or like the town square or whatever they had back then. Because
The
I don't
wives
even
weren't allowed to do anything.
Huh?
The wives weren't allowed to do anything.
It was the wives that started this damn prohibition movement to begin with.
Because
right?
their husbands were getting drunk
Yes.
and getting all sleazy.
Yes. You are absolutely correct.
Okay.
That's how it started because they hated that
So
their
it wasn't
husbands
the
were coming home.
wives' fault. It was the men's fault.
Okay. You
Because
are,
the men's were getting a little trashy.
I stand corrected. Thank you very much, Amanda. You are right. I am wrong. This is the men's fault. Well, no, you are right. Because listen, the men would come home and what would they want? First of all, they were loud and obnoxious and smelly. And then they probably wanted to,
Or they were getting that somewhere else at all the brothels
Right.
because
Right.
during this time
Right.
there was a brothel on
Okay.
every corner too.
My whole point of all this is the wives start something called the Women's Christian Temperance Union, the WCTU.
Well,
Yeah, this is what starts. Right? You
Okay.
could argue basically became the first ever nationwide women's movement. That's kind of cool.
that is kind of cool.
The WCTU. Let's go. And they would go around basically from bar to bar and try to get the bartenders, the owners of the saloons,
Okay.
to stop selling alcohol. So they were like, I guess they were also the original bar hoppers, right? If
Yeah,
you think about
but
it.
also,
right? But they weren't drinking.
why would anyone like agree to not sell the booze?
But they did because they got so fed up with these women. Like,
oh.
yeah. They got
But also,
so
how
fed
did
up.
these women like come together to form a movement?
That's my point. They
'Cause they didn't
texted
have, like,
they texted each
They
other.
couldn't have.
Yeah, they did.
Just put a note on their pony and slap the pony's butt and like,
This is what.
like how big was this movement? Was it just in one town?
Just wait a second.
Was it multiple
Okay.
towns?
You're
I have so many questions.
You're completely out of control. So this is the best I could gather. Okay, so it's around 1873, 1874. Because I did this homework.
Okay, fine.
All these spontaneous women's crusades, let's call them, start breaking out all over like Ohio, Kansas, and everything. Because like
So independently of each other.
Independently, everybody's drinking in all these little small towns.
Okay.
A lot of wives are getting fed up with a lot of husbands.
Okay.
So in these little groups, 10 women, 12 women, 15 women, I don't know.
Got it.
They start going bar to bar in these little towns and like start praying and doing all sorts of shit to like bug these saloon owners to like, close their bars. Does this make sense?
Okay.
So then a bunch of newspapers get a hold of this concept.
Okay.
And they're like, oh shit, what's going on? So they start publishing this crap in the newspapers.
Okay.
And once it starts publishing in the newspaper, now they can start connecting the dots because then they can start writing letters to each other from town to town and so on and so forth. So it was a slow burn and took a while, but that's ultimately how like whatever this WCTU got like put together. So what started as a whole bunch of independent women crusades, thanks to the newspaper and thanks to letter writing, Pony Express, shit like that. It took a long time, but end up with the whole WCTU. And they start a campaign to meet in 1874, November of 1874. So they do this all through the newspapers and said, like, we're all going to meet in Cleveland, Ohio to talk about all this shit and try to make one cohesive voice. Okay. So they do that, and they elected Annie Wittenmeyer as their first president.
Okay.
So now we're totally official. Okay, so it goes from small shit to big shit. Okay. But the whole problem with the WCTU was all based on appealing to emotion. And that only got them so far. So, like, they inspired people, but they weren't changing anything. Because, like, the politicians weren't involved. No one was helping them. You got to remember, women didn't even have the right to vote back then.
Right.
I mean, this is like, that didn't even happen for
They were
another
just
50 years.
being women.
Right.
Sure. So then what happened next?
They needed men. That's what happened next.
Oh,
and
good.
I'm not like that. I know. Don't roll your eyes at me. Like, I'm not for the patriarchy, but I have to say what's real. Like, that's what they needed back then. Okay. So some clergymen who weren't drunk all the time.
Okay.
Right. And then just other dudes in the congregation. Right. They went to churches to figure out who they could sort of get to rally behind.
Sure.
Right. And they saw look around one day and they're like, all right, this is not working anymore. This is not a spiritual issue anymore. This is now a political issue. Like, we got to do some serious shit.
So then who did they get on the politics side to back them?
Here we go. So it's 1893.
Okay.
And
whoa, we jumped far ahead.
We did. Yeah. So now they're doing this for like 20 years or something like that. The Anti-Saloon League is officially born. Anti-Saloon League, yes. And it was essentially 2.0 version of the WCTU.
Were they called the ASL?
Yes, they were.
Were they deaf?
No, but that would be really funny. Oh my God, that was good.
Oh, that was a bad joke.
But now they had a bunch of like political strategy. Now we're ready to go here. This got serious, okay? So while the WCTU kept the moral pressure on everyone, the Anti-Saloon League,
the ASL,
thank you very much, started threatening lawmakers, like drafting legislation, endorsing candidates, like shit got serious, which basically turned the temperature
Our first
way up. Yes, the government now had a national problem on their hands.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's crazy how that all starts.
I know.
Did they make any headway?
Oh, they made headway.
I mean, clearly because Prohibition came about, but like, how did they make headway?
So
who did they shake down?
Oh, there was a lot of shaking down. There was a lot of shaking down. Are we ready?
I guess, but I have so many questions.
Okay, what's your question?
But like politically, because like during that time, during Prohibition, there was a ton of lawmakers who were getting like kickbacks.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, they were.
So then, the conspiracy theorist of me is like, well, do they like vote for the law to shut everything down so that way they could get their kickbacks?
No, they got kickbacks after the fact.
Oh,
they,
okay. But why would you then shut down alcohol?
Why would you shut down alcohol?
You're not going to get your position back. You're not going to get voted for again. Everyone's going to blame you.
Let's start with, this was America's worst decision, if you remember. This is how we started. I don't know why you shut down alcohol.
Okay.
I'm only reporting on the facts.
Because I know it wasn't morally correct. I understand.
It wasn't, right.
Sure. Okay, fine. So they shut it down.
No. So it took about 20 more years, from like 1893 to like 1919. And then we finally get the 18th Amendment of the United States Constitution, Prohibition, the banning of making, selling, or transporting alcohol anywhere in the United States of America.
But it's crazy how they were able to ratify that.
They got pressure.
Insane.
First lobbying group, like you just said.
That's crazy.
You want to know the problem? They only said they were banning it, but like the amendment didn't say like how they were going to ban it. It was just like, it's banned. There was no like follow-up.
How do you enforce it?
Yeah.
But then they left it to the states to enforce, didn't they?
Loopholes. Here we go. So as soon as they pass the amendment, they realize they're basically fucked because now they got to figure out who's going to enforce all this, and they didn't like have any plans at all.
Okay.
So enter something called the Volstead Act, which they enact 9 months, to be exact, after the 18th Amendment was ratified, which basically decided what was counted as intoxicating liquor.
Isn't all liquor intoxicating?
Theoretically, yes. But they thought they were super smart, and they had this big plan. The Volstead Act said that any liquor that was over 0.5% alcohol was considered intoxicating. But really, that's everything.
I was like, isn't that like kombucha?
That is kombucha. Kombucha has to be less than 0.5. That is. I looked that up. Yes.
I can't.
Absolutely.
So kombucha technically would be okay.
theoretically.
That's not
Well,
Scoobies. Okay.
A low dose of kombucha.
Low
Yeah,
ABV of kombucha.
And so check this out. On top of them not really having any plan there, because that wasn't genius to begin with, they decided that the U.S. Treasury Prohibition Bureau, the IRS was going to figure out how to enforce it. That's who they put in charge of this. Yes. They had no idea what they were doing.
I love that our money people are going to control our drinking habits.
Yeah.
But
So-
okay,
so-
sure.
So total chaos from day one.
This makes absolutely no sense. Who thought this was a good idea? Which president was this?
Oh my God, 1919? I don't know.
Yes, you do know. You know all the presidents.
I think it was Edgar Allan Poe.
No.
Was he a president?
Well, I actually know he was not a president. That's one thing I do know.
1919 was, oh my God, was, what is it? Madame Marble, Turn It Upside Down, Wicked Witch, right? No? Woodrow Wilson? Are you not into Wicked right now?
I am, but I'm just the double W's.
You don't know that? Right. The double W's.
Oh,
You
no.
haven't seen that? Wicked Witch.
Oh, no, I saw the Wicked Witch part.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
okay.
I didn't know it was equivalent.
Oh,
the
sorry.
Wicked Witch to
Well, because
Woodrow Wilson,
Okay,
WW.
sorry. It
I
was
see.
Woodrow Wilson.
This is how
Whatever.
your brain works. Okay, fine.
My bad.
So we basically have Wilson to blame for this all getting ratified.
Sure, if you say so.
And how it all started was that women basically got fed up with all of their drunk husbands sleeping around, probably in all the brothals. So then they decide to get
Hey, you know
together.
what their drunk husbands were? Frowsy.
Frowsy.
They were totally. They were
A little disheveled,
they
a
were
little
frowsy
messy,
mofos.
a little sloppy.
They were. We just nailed that. Okay, sorry.
Sloppy
Go ahead.
seconds.
Sorry, you were summing, and I like when you sum, and I just upset the apple
Okay.
cart. Go.
Okay, so
Yes.
the men were being frowsy.
They were.
The women all got together. They started to pray outside of the saloons.
They did.
They started to nag at all the bartenders to get them to go ahead and stop for the day.
Yep.
And then they all came back around.
Yep.
Then they kind of accidentally started a national movement.
WCTU.
Yeah, they
Yep.
all came together to create that. But then they realized that they couldn't actually pass any laws because there's just a bunch of people. So then they started turning to politics.
Yes.
To get political leaders.
Yes.
And
American Sign Language comes in.
Yes.
ASL.
Because they got the church dudes to come
Okay.
in.
Really, the
start
Anti-Saloon
ASL.
League
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Right.
And then for 40 years, they are at Congress trying to lobby to prohibit alcohol and
Yep.
alcohol sales. Then, boom, finally, here we are. We're in Prohibition. It is now outlawed. And the only people who are going to enforce this is the IRS.
This is perfect.
Okay.
This is 10 out of 10. You nailed this. Yes.
It sounds, this Volstead Act and not being able to have anything over kombucha, and then the IRS having to.
This makes it fun.
It
You
doesn't
realize how
make
it was a
any sense.
fluster clock
It-
from the start.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Right.
It just seems like a bad idea.
Right. So back to the beginning. So then
Did anybody run it through their brain at the time?
No,
where they
this
were
is my whole point. This is
this
why it was
sounds
such a doesn't work.
crazy.
So guess what happens then when you tell people they can't drink?
Obviously, they drink more. We already established this.
Right.
Americans are rebellious.
A
And we
lot
don't
more.
listen to
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Which now takes us to our next segment,
Oh,
Amanda.
okay. Next part. Yes.
The chaos of why America drinks more. Right? Because we're going to take
because we
this
drink more from wherever we were at.
from where, right, absolutely. When we're told we can't do something, we're going to do it. So we just go from above ground
To below.
to
Yes,
underground.
all of our speakeasies.
We're going. Yep. This is what's going to happen next. Here we go. Are you ready?
I mean, yes. This is the
All right.
best part. Flapper dress.
Oh,
Flappers in the 20s?
That's what we should have done. We should have dressed up like I could have been like a gangster. You could have been wearing flapper dress. Let's do that next time. Okay, fine.
Theme costumes. Or
Okay, so I totally wasn't kidding, by the way, about the whole password things and the speakeasies.
I know, yeah.
Right. So you needed passwords to get in. You had to whisper a password. That's
Yes.
you needed to make
There's
sure
a
what.
speakeasy
What? Yes.
that's in Paso. Super fun place.
Okay, now we gotta go.
They all dress up.
Yeah.
Kind of the time.
I'm in.
And you have to knock and you have to say the
I
password.
kind
It's
of
fun.
do we have any in Orange County?
There's some, like the Blind Rabbit in Anaheim. There's
Is
another
there a
one that's
competition?
supposed
Should
to
we
be
should we try to do
somewhere in
this?
downtown Orange. We should go to Speakeasy.
No, not go to one. Should we open one?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we got to talk more about
Absolutely.
this. Okay, so they were everywhere, right? They're behind barber shops. They're in basements, like you said, secret rooms,
It was
laundromats.
wherever.
They had them
Yeah.
in crazy everywhere. Didn't matter.
You had a
I looked this up.
downstairs. You're good.
New York alone. You want to guess how many there was in New York alone?
50,000.
30,000.
Oh, I
I'm
was
surprised
close.
you
I
know.
was
Yeah,
close.
wow. I would have said 1,000. When I saw 30,000, I was like, "What the hell?"
You got to
All
make
right, well,
money.
fine.
People
No,
are
no.
capitalists. Come
Yeah.
on.
No, it was crazy. So it took basically about 5 minutes because now everything's underground, right?
Right.
I
Crime
mean,
syndicate.
literally, right. That's where it starts. Yes. So who do you get? Al Capone. I wasn't
Oh,
kidding.
actually?
Yes, Al Capone. Absolutely. The most badass gangster in all of history. Well, I mean, I don't know if he
Okay.
was the most famous, but top 5. Okay.
Okay.
Fun fact. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Al Capone made $60 million back then in 1919
That's a lot of money back then.
Right. A year smuggling alcohol during Prohibition.
Mean, man.
A
It was
year.
lucrative, man.
Right. So now think of Peaky
Telling
Blinders.
you.
Now
I
you know how
know.
crazy that shit is, right? Turned Chicago completely upside down into his own friggin' bootlegging empire.
So
Yeah.
basically, crime went up, drinking went up, and there's a moral improvement where?
No, it's not even close. Moral improvement.
I
What
just-
the hell? Yeah,
But
they
I
thought
mean, like,
the
that's
government.
that was
the
the whole thing.
we were pretending. Right, we were pretending. It's okay. We can pretend. It gets
Okay.
better. Right,
Oh,
right,
dear.
Right, I know. So you know how we have like regular drinking alcohol, and then we have like industrial alcohol.
Yeah.
Right, like so denatured alcohol, like they use in factories.
Like at your place.
Yes,
Yeah.
I use that. Yeah, for sure, all the time. So I guess they had like regular alcohol and denatured alcohol before Prohibition because
Okay.
the government wanted to tax like some alcohol and not other alcohol,
okay.
so on and
Sure,
so
sure,
forth. So
sure.
that's why they had to start that whole thing. Anyway, so I guess during Prohibition, bootleggers were stealing the denatured alcohol, like the
Oh.
industrial alcohol.
Didn't know I
right?
did this. Yeah. And then they make their
Redistilling it.
moonshine.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And then add sugar, flavorings, all sorts
Yeah.
of shit to make it
And the
drinkable.
people would die.
You're stealing my thunder.
Oh.
Yes. Look at you who said I knew nothing about
I know
Prohibition.
just
Now you know,
enough-
right.
just enough to
You're
be
so
dangerous.
sophisticated. Yeah. So the government stepped in and poisoned it. They poisoned it on purpose.
Oh,
Like-
okay. I didn't
like
know that.
added way more toxins to stop the bootleggers.
Oh.
So the idea was if people knew that it was deadly, they would stop it. They
Nope.
didn't stop it.
No.
Yeah. Okay. How many people died? You want to guess? Because here's my fun fact.
100,000.
No. Way
high?
less. Way less. Yeah. 10 to 20,000 people they're estimating died because of this shit.
Wow.
Yes. And shout out to Jeanette, our super fan.
Oh, why? What happened?
We
What'd you
just
do?
threw
What'd you
death in here.
do? Oh!
We did it.
We did.
Jeanette,
We did.
10 to 20,000 people died because our government was poisoning alcohol. What do you think of
They
that?
didn't want the cocktails.
That's some crazy shit. I know. Okay. That's insane.
So wait, did the government do anything? Like,
Because they killed all those people?
yeah. Because that's bad.
Yeah. But it wasn't the government's fault.
But also-
no, they didn't do shit. No. It wasn't there. They told
Was
everybody
it
what they
actually
were
the
doing.
government, or was it like the people who created the alcohol? It was a mandate from the government.
Whatever.
To go ahead and-
I don't know. ChatGPT said it was the government. What the hell? I don't know two
Okay,
shits.
fine. Okay.
We're only sort of sophisticated here. My point is why are they going to help? They're not going to help those families
Okay,
because they
yeah.
said don't drink this shit. It's poison. And then people went and tried to fix
FAFO.
it and drink it. You remember Jurassic Park?
Right, it's FAFO.
What's FAFO?
Fuck around and find out.
Oh, I was just going to say life finds a way. I like FAFO. I like FAFO so much better than what I was going to do. That is so good. I love FAFO. That's perfect because that fits exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like I looked this up. They made shit in their bathtubs
Yeah.
all the time. Have you heard of bathtub gin? Bathtub
No.
gin.
No, not
Yes.
specifically.
Yeah, but-
But I knew they did in a bathtub.
Moonshine,
so-
right? Same
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right? That's where it comes from, right? So, moonshine, fun fact, comes from the fact that they made it at night, so the cops couldn't see the smoke coming from the stills.
Yep.
Do you know how strong they made moonshine? Strong enough to dissolve metal, like
Oh,
dissolve
dang.
metal. I don't understand what people were doing.
No
Like
big deal.
I remember for COVID, like crazy people were using like weird ass alcohol to try to make hand
Yeah,
sanitizer
yeah.
and screwing everything up, but they weren't ingesting it. Back then, they were
Yeah,
ingesting this
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was absolutely crazy.
But then also, isn't that like when they started like cutting it with other stuff to make cocktails? Because like it was so strong, and so then like they would mask it by like mixing it with
I
like,
have an idea.
orange juice.
I have an
or-
idea. Why don't you do this episode and I'll be the one? Because I apparently didn't know any of this shit. You knew all of this shit.
I mean, loosely.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how to tie it all
Leave it,
together.
leave it to the episode on Prohibition for Amanda to come through and know everything.
Here we go.
Does anyone else find that interesting?
Oh, all the shade that you're
Wow.
throwing. It's a little chilly over here.
Wow. Yes,
little
that's
chilly.
exactly how they invented cocktails. You are right. Before that,
But it was just to mask it.
I
like
know.
it was. It's
but I didn't know that. So I found that fascinating that like
Oh.
in the 1800s, they didn't have such a thing as cocktails.
no, it was all straight.
And now, right, they
It's out of
have
the bottle.
Right. Now they have cocktails. So they did apple bitters, what is it, sugars, whatever they added. I think that's the coolest thing ever. They had bee's knees. You've had a bee's
Oh,
knees.
bees knees.
So
Honey,
the
a little honey,
sidecar.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
were
yeah,
literally
yeah.
created to hide the gasoline smell.
Yeah,
right, of
to
homemade-
hide the fact that you might be dying because you're being poisoned by.
Okay, can I bring this back to our 80s episode? I remember how we were talking about how the 20s were so iconic.
Yeah.
This is why this was one of the
Well,
main
but
reasons.
this is the whole cultural shift,
Yes.
right? Where it's no longer just about like drinking straight, whatever.
No.
It's now a social aspect.
Yes, we
to
talked about it. We
which
said
is,
nightlife was born
Yeah.
because of this. So Prohibition, the whole thing, underground, jazz, speakeasies, flappers, that started a nightlife culture that did not exist previously. So thanks to Prohibition,
that's why the 20s.
this
yeah.
is why the 20s were rocking and rolling,
I mean,
baby.
It
What
is how we
It is excellent.
like you just see how it permeates like into like our daily lives today that we don't even realize.
I know.
Like hey, you want to go grab a drink at happy hour?
Right.
Like that came from
Yeah.
this moment in time.
Yes, I have a fun fact later on about a cocktail party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very, very similar to like how you just use it in your language.
Well,
yes.
I did with the 80s, though.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking to somebody. She goes, oh, my God, have you seen the episode of Bluey? And I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, yes, I've seen Bluey. She's like, no, like the 80s like are proclaimed to be the best decade. I'm like, so even Bluey's in on it.
Let's go.
But if you think about it, the whole Bluey show is based off of these 2-parent dogs who are raising their children.
I love this.
And reminiscing about the 80s because it was the best decade.
Is there a reason you didn't bring this up while we were talking about this?
Because it happened this past week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so like it's just one of those things where we don't realize, again, how much of our lives today are the way they are because of something of the past.
I know. Like we are so ahead of our time. Look at us. We're like spiderwebbing all this shit together. This is incredible.
It's like that butterfly effect, but like different.
But yes, it's like the 6 degrees separation, but different, right? Oh, let's go. Another one. All right.
Okay. So getting us back on track. So we have Prohibition. We have this new social life.
Yes.
We are all trying not to die from drinking poisoned alcohol.
Yes.
But then at some point in time, this all gets struck down.
It does.
And we go back to normal.
We do.
Somehow.
Thank God we do.
And whatever normal is.
Yes.
Because
normal is drink heavily and make it legal. Because
everyone gets paid, not just the mob.
Our government wants to tax everything. Okay,
That's true.
So here we are,
fair.
1933. 14 years later, Repeal Day. Here we are. Yay. So Prohibition, total shit show by this time. Like late 1920s, early 1930s.
Everyone's doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's collapsing under its own basic absurdity. Like the fact that we're making fun of it this whole time. Right. Enforcement's a mess. The IRS didn't do shit about it. Remember you were talking about bribing? Cops wanted to be bribed. So in most cases, like the federal government was literally trying to police every single bar they could find, every basement, every bathtub, everywhere. It was impossible to do. And the organized crime, right? Corruption, turf wars, shootouts. People are dying everywhere. And so the regular people were just getting pissed that they couldn't even just go get a beer somewhere without getting shot at now. Like, that's how bad this was. Like, they weren't involved in anything. It was just sucky. You couldn't even walk across the fucking street. Like, it was getting really, really bad. So, 1932, Great Depression, government realizes, holy shit, we screwed up.
Okay.
What if we just repeal this whole thing and just tax alcohol? Instead of making it illegal, we could actually make money and help us with the Great Depression.
Okay.
So they were like, here's what's going to happen. We're going to get back in a room. December 5th, 1933. They passed the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th Amendment, which, fun fact, was the first and only time in United States history we unamended an amendment. You unamended an amendment?
Okay,
we unamended. First time, only time. 18th, 21st. Yeah.
Probably because they learned from the mistake and was like, that was stupid. We should have laws.
They pretended they did. They were like, oh, okay, here's what's happening. But really all they wanted to do.
Give us all money.
Right. They just want money.
Fair.
That was it.
But I mean, that's what they did with marijuana, except they didn't make it into an amendment.
But theoretically, you're right. Like, so, yes.
Right,
No. But this is a very good point because this is what I wanted to talk about next. So you're right on track with this whole thing. Like, we just repeat the pattern. We just like, alcohol is one thing. So it's like panic, ban.
Yep.
Americans figure out workarounds because we're industrious and rebels and all those cool things. Government finally has to give in and cave. Government taxes shit and profits. Okay. So marijuana, great example. I mean, I guess it's with the state. The states are making money off of it. The federal government's not, but the states are totally making money off it, right? In the 50s, I went and looked. They tried to do it with comic books. It didn't work. It didn't work. But they tried to do it. Yes. They were actually like legislation driven, like, right, for video games in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. They tried to do it with video games.
That's so
like kind of gambling, right? Online sports betting, DraftKings, the whole thing. Yeah. It's insane. How do we legalize it? What do we do? Gambling.
The thing is like people are going to do it anyways. So
they are.
Like,
they totally are.
I don't know.
But that's my point. Is like at some point the government just got to catch. Like I said, panic, ban. America figures out the workaround. Government accepts it. Government taxes it. It's going to keep happening. Vaping. It's going to happen. Pick it. 500 years from now, it's going to be doing the same damn thing. We're stupid enough to like make it an amendment and then unamend it. You know what I'm saying?
Know, but see, that's
now
just
we're
so
smart
much
enough
work
to wait it out and try to figure it out. Well, we're getting better.
We freak out.
We're getting better.
Knee-jerk reaction. Blah blah blah. Yeah. But I also think a lot of it is that as a government trying to have
a frowsy government.
Trying to have like some moral high road.
Tell me about it. Preach it, Amanda.
I don't know. Anyways, okay. I'm done with this.
We said we wouldn't make it political.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Okay.
Here we go.
Fun facts.
The good news, right. Okay, let's get to fun fact. The good news is we're back since 1933. It's been glorious. And here we are almost 100 years later.
We
can do whatever. And we could say, and we have craft cocktails.
Speaking of craft, yes. Right? Okay, speaking of craft cocktails. So for Thanksgiving, I made a raspberry cheesecake martini.
Oh, shit.
Let me tell you, it was so delicious.
Okay.
Anyway.
I want one of those.
But it's so fun. So I guess I have to thank Prohibition.
You do.
For my
Yes. Here's what I want to do for your Christmas toast this year. We're gonna hold up. We're gonna
Prohibition.
cheers. Props to Prohibition. Okay. Okay. Fun facts. So you said fun fact. Can we do fun facts?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go right to the cocktail party one. Okay. The term cocktail party was invented because of Prohibition. Basically, it forced all the wealthy people, like, to host hidden drink nights in their homes instead of bars, of course, right?
Yeah.
So the name cocktail party was born because people were throwing parties with these cocktails. So cocktail party in their house.
Yeah, but where did the cock part came from and then the tail part?
I don't know, but I like the way you said cack. Where did the cack part come from? No. That's a hell of a question.
Curious.
Look that up, please, while I'm on fun fact number 2. Okay. New York City basically ignored Prohibition. We said there was like 30,000 speakeasies. Okay, check this out. Only 7% of New York's police force said they had any interest in even trying to enforce this at all, even from the get-go. That means 93% of New York City's police force took bribes right from the beginning. Like, just pretended not to notice anything. Total corruption.
I mean, or they knew. They were realists.
They were in on it. Okay. Number 3, the federal government hired undercover agents to pose as, quote, flirty flapper girls to trick bartenders into serving them booze in these speakeasies. So, because, like, obviously speakeasies trusted women way more than men, the flapper girls went in there, got their drink, and then the government agents would come in and arrest everyone. You got to be aware of the hot girl trap, even back in the 1920s, dude. Totally. What do you got? What do we know? Where did cocktail party come from? Did you look it up?
There's a lot of theories here.
Shit. They don't know?
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it's unknown where like the true cocktail came from. But some theories are it was New Orleans apothecary serving brandy in French egg cups, which are coquetiers.
Okay.
So the French, or it could have been from the French word for a mixed drink, which is coquetel.
I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Or even a practice of gingering old horses with a tail feather like suppository.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of theories here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the first printed definition was in 1806, and it was defined as a spirit, sugar, water, and bitters.
There you go. Yeah. The more you know. Okay.
I guess so.
Next one. Walgreens. You remember Walgreens?
I mean, yeah, it's still around.
Got rich because of Prohibition.
Really? Why?
Yes, it did. Okay, check this.
Because they were giving out pills with their booze? What?
Back in the 20s, doctors wrote literally millions of medicinal whiskey prescriptions.
Told you, it's just like marijuana.
Okay. If you had anxiety, if you had insomnia, back pain, I don't give a shit. The doctor could write you a prescription for whiskey.
I did not know that.
Walgreens, of course, sold medicine. So naturally, it exploded from 20 stores, like in and around the Chicago area. That's where Walgreens started, to 500 stores nationwide during Prohibition. Went bonkers.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I love it.
Dealing whiskey.
Here we are.
Go Walgreens. I don't know. Do you want to work for Walgreens then? Like, I mean, is that like...
No, not really, actually. No.
Okay. Number 6. Both Canada and the Caribbean thrived. Amanda, thrived.
Yeah, because that's where we got the rum.
Right.
What did Canada do?
Yeah, Canada did whiskey. Canada did whiskey. Caribbean did rum. Yeah. Check this one out. Right. They had rum running, right? Rum running.
Yeah.
So locals would load rum onto the boats headed for like Boston or New York or whatever, where American speedboats were waiting offshore in what they called rum row to then take the rum to like little like, I don't know, fishing docks or like hidden coves to unload it at night onto trucks that would take it to all the speakeasies all over the country.
I mean, it's insane.
That's rum running or rum row or whatever, right? And Canada did the same thing. Canada just did it with whiskey. Yeah. And that came through Detroit.
Okay.
And then all the rum running came up through the other way. Yeah. Wild. Okay.
And we're mad about drugs.
I know. Seriously. Oh my God. Can I keep going? Because I got more.
Okay,
Are these fascinating? I got like 3 more. Okay. I don't even know what number we're on. Who cares? Okay. Remember a few weeks ago when I didn't know like on the wagon, off the wagon?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I officially solved the on the wagon, off the wagon. I think it was Dick Van Dyke we were talking. Yeah, because we didn't know if he was on or off the wagon. Okay. The phrase on the wagon came from people climbing onto water wagons to publicly swear off of drinking. So they would climb onto the water wagon that would come through town after a drunken night, right? They would get up on this wagon. So if you're on the wagon, you're sober.
Okay.
They'd ride around all day until later that night. Then they would subsequently hop off the wagon and go right back into the bar to keep drinking, hence falling off the wagon.
All right.
So there it is.
The more you know.
Now we know. We're good. Okay. Number 8, maybe. Breweries survived Prohibition selling grape concentrate bricks.
Grape?
Yes, like that they would freeze. Yes. Along with malt syrup that had warning labels attached to them that basically explained how to turn them into illegal booze. So remember, breweries were banned,
Yeah.
right? And then they did the speakeasies, which were all like
The rave, yeah,
right. So breweries still had to find a way to make money. So this is what they did. They sold these bricks of grape concentrate and malt syrup, and then the label said, "Do not mix with water and let sit for 20 days, or this will ferment into wine."
Don't do this.
Right. They were recipeing it on the warning label so they could sell it.
That's amazing.
It's freaking crazy. Okay.
Sneaky.
All right, save the best one for last. Here we go. Prohibition accidentally invented NASCAR.
What?
You know, like the race NASCAR?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, seriously. Listen to this. Okay.
Because they were racing
Yes.
with all their booze?
Bingo. Yeah, absolutely. So moonshine, right?
Yep.
So they had moonshine runners that had to figure out how to outrun all the federal agents, like on the twisting backwoods, back road countries, and they started tricking out all the regular cars with like
How
bigger
funny.
engines, hidden compartments, better
Okay.
suspension, all
Yeah.
the shit. Did you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard? I watched Dukes of Hazzard growing up.
I mean, you only
Yeah.
watched it for the short shorts, but anyways.
I did. Daisy Duke, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But then now, like Fast and Furious. So
Oh, okay,
anybody
yeah.
playing along at home, like Fast and Furious shit, who cares? Whatever. So they got good at driving like really fast and like eluding the police officers. So when Prohibition was over, they just started racing on weekends, and crowds started showing
Well,
up.
there you go.
They started gambling on it, and bam, NASCAR.
Huh.
That is wild. I thought that was the coolest one. Where there's a will, there's a way. Go NASCAR, go Prohibition. Fun facts out.
I mean, if you like think about it, the Daytona 500 basically started from
Prohibition.
running booze.
Craft cocktails. Like,
We have so much to owe to Prohibition.
we really do.
Huh.
We really do.
Which is also funny because that is like the DNA of America, right?
It is.
Fast cars, fast driving, drinks,
I
partying.
said you got to understand America's personality.
Yeah, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong.
Here we are. I think that's why this was so fascinating to me. I'm like, Prohibition, I'm going to learn about this. And I'm like, oh, this was kind of cool.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
for anybody else who wants
So
to
wait
learn.
a second. We have to thank Woodrow Wilson then. We were throwing shade. We were throwing shade on Woodrow Wilson. He didn't even know how
Okay,
good he
fair.
did.
Okay, fair.
Right? All right. Anyway.
Fair,
sorry.
fair, fair.
Okay,
All
go
right.
for it.
Well, if anybody wants to learn a little bit more about Prohibition and get into the more of the gritty details,
Yep.
what should they do?
Get drunk.
Well,
Try
drunk history.
try
Let's
every
go.
alcohol there is.
Drunk
No,
history.
okay, I can't do that. I can't condone alcoholism.
No,
okay.
drunk history.
I would say what we were just talking about. Like, I'm a totally history nerd. You're
Yeah.
like love your speakeasy stuff. So I would start with go to a speakeasy. Somebody should
Find
go.
one. Yelp
right.
it.
Yes. Yelp one, figure it out. New York, Chicago, they have them everywhere. They have them right here in LA. Amanda was just talking about, like, figure that out. We'll call it educational drinking.
Fair.
How's that?
Okay,
is
let's
that
go.
fair? Okay. If you don't want to do that, we could sit on your couch because I always have one for people that just want to sit
I mean,
on their couch.
it's always about watching something.
If someone wants to drink and sit on their couch, watch the documentary Prohibition by Ken Burns on PBS. It's long.
Oh, okay.
It's long. It's like 6 hours, but it's in three episodes. So it's like an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. No, but they're like, they're
Okay.
segments, so it's
Okay,
fine.
sure,
It's
sure,
fine.
sure.
Do it over
Okay.
Christmas vacation. It's very, very interesting. I did watch it. I thought it was fascinating. It's a way deeper dive than this. Like, you could learn a bunch of shit.
Of course.
Right.
Of
If you're a
course,
history nerd, go. If you're not a history nerd, don't do it. If you're more of a book person, read Last Call by Daniel
good title.
Auckland. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Last Call. It is the definitive book on Prohibition in America. If you're going to read one book on Prohibition, read that one. It explains everything. He was excellent. Okay. And if you don't want to do any of that, well, then just remember these details to be sorta sophisticated. Here we go. All right. Number one. In 1919, legislation enacted Prohibition, and it did the exact opposite of what it was supposed to do. The government banned alcohol to make America moral and orderly, and instead instantly created a boomerang black market, 30,000 speakeasies in New York City alone, bathtub booze, and the rise of Al Capone and organized crime. So there. It was the ultimate national backfire. They undid their mess in 1933, and thank God they did. Go Prohibition. Number two, Prohibition didn't just change drinking, it changed culture. Speakeasies gave us jazz-fueled nightlife, flappers, and the birth of the modern cocktail because everyone was just trying to make terrible booze somehow more drinkable. Half of the classic drinks that you order today were invented during Prohibition. It's incredible. Number three, it was deadly. Jeanette, shout out. When bootleggers started stealing industrial alcohol and turning it into liquor, the government ordered factories to add stronger poison to stop them. People drank it anyway, and somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 people died. It was one of the darkest and least talked about parts of the Prohibition era. And finally, Prohibition is a perfect example of a pattern America keeps repeating. We panic about a vice, we outlaw it, people find workarounds, crime spikes, government eventually gives up, and then they tax it. We did it with marijuana, gambling, we'll do it with vaping. They even tried to do it with comic books and video games, like I said back in the day. Prohibition isn't just history. It's a blueprint we keep following.
And there you have it, dear listeners, the wild ride known as Prohibition. A decade of good intentions, bad decisions, and Americans doing absolutely everything except what the law told them to do. From the women's crusades that kicked this whole thing off to the government agents chasing bootleggers across country highways, it was a moment in history where the rules changed overnight and people immediately found the loopholes. So if we did our job today, you're walking away a little more curious, a little more confident, and definitely ready to flex a fun fact. But the point is, Prohibition didn't just reshape drinking, it reshaped America. And as always, if you like this episode, hit subscribe, leave us a review, and send it to someone who thinks the 1920s were all glamorous outfits and jazz. They deserve to know about the poisoned alcohol part 2.
They definitely do.
Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, a little context makes history go down smooth.